to Wednesday Night Chats with Chris and Gini.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
Let's see, I'm looking at our calendar and
We're free this month.
Finally
What the heck?
home. So in 2 weeks from today, we will actually be in Ocala. I'm looking over there because of my calendar. We're going to be in Ocala for the Florida APW Fall Booster with AJ and Victor, and we're going to have, when we're there that Wednesday, I actually spoke to Victor, and he wants to be on our Wednesday night chats. I think he's gonna talk about what goes on at APW since he's a lead shop steward. He's awesome. He knows all the info.
We're definitely interviewing Victor.
And he always is asking for a location because he's got people to put people in places. So if you're at APW and you need help, reach out to Victor. And then the following week, if you guys saw, we are doing our first Sip and Socialize with Dr. Harper, Donovan Harper.
In Montgomery, Alabama.
In his Montgomery office. So we're inviting the folks, we're inviting federal employees, we're inviting union leaders, we are inviting entrepreneurs, business coaches, business leaders. There's gonna be a few Black Diamond Club members there. We're excited to see our Black Diamond fam.
And if you're in Alabama at all, Dr. Harper is about to open his 4th office in Alabama. Plus, Dr. Cooper has an office in Alabama / Columbus. So we've done a really great job in the state of Alabama putting OWCP doctors around the state, so you have help. And I can't give away the secret, but Dr. Harper's got a big thing coming for everyone in Alabama to help overcome a major problem that you guys have. So now Dr. Harper's even gotten in on the mix. Not only has he gotten like 620 something claims approved, but he's also doing things outside of claims approval to address some of the hassles you all are dealing with. He's fantastic. I don't know what we do without him.
So that's our month for September. Come October, then it's going to get a little stickier, and come November, we normally stop, but we've been invited to a few things, and then come December, we might have to travel 2 weekends. So that's what we got going on so far, but we still have a few dates available. For those of you union presidents that want us to come out and do the training, I know
Lock it in.
We have a BOP that wanted us to come out to Washington and San Diego and Miami. So I will be following up with you guys shortly because I know you guys said you wanted it in October, November.
But if you don't lock it in, I'm going to plan a vacation.
Yeah.
Don't tempt me.
And then January is our month. We're going to go away to Utah, probably for 3 weeks this
Never
time.
to be heard from again.
Yeah. So
for 3 weeks.
And I don't know if you guys saw my post. It actually snowed in Heber City, a little further up in Heber City, just in the mountains. It snowed for Labor Day, so I'm super excited. And we're actually going to Park City with our staff in 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
So we're excited that they're all going.
And we're taking the entire staff and their families into Park City, locking our staff along with us in a room for a couple of days. We're going to kick each other's butts until we come up with better ideas to help you. That's the whole purpose of this.
Yeah. So we're excited. So tonight we wanted to talk about, a lot of you have been asking me, what is the process on getting a schedule award? What do we do when how do we get to an MMI? What is it? What's an FCE? So we're going to explain everything you need to know tonight in a short version, but let me put this out there. If you're going to start asking us, what am I going to get for my hip, my knee, my shoulder, my whatever?
I cannot answer that intelligently.
Answer that. So you will see a lot of our offices on here. They will be saying, this is Federal Injury Centers of, Tampa. Reach out to us if you have any questions. So when the case managers are on here, that's what they're doing. They're letting you know where their location is. We are up and new coming doctors are in Paramus, New Jersey, with Dr. Maleni, and we have Federal Injury Centers of Portland with Keith Glasser.
Mm-hmm. He's a doctor of physical therapy.
Oh, and he's on there right now. There he goes.
What's up, Keith?
Glasser. Yes. See, FIC and PDX, Oregon. We have our first patient tomorrow and maybe our second. Awesome. And then you put his address. Don't forget to put your phone number down on there, Doc.
Let me say something about that real quick. And before I go too much further, I want to say hello to Mary Golden. You're one of our favorite people, too. So we're glad you're here. Say hi to your husband. Such a cool guy. I could sit and talk to him all night. But the thing with Keith in Portland is it's significant, okay, because they're brand new, and thank you all on the West Coast for your patience, but they're brand new, and they just got their first injured federal employee to help. And the significant thing about that is not that they got their first patient. The significant thing is that in Portland, in Oregon, the first person that could ever find a trained OWCP doctor found one. And that's significant. All the rest of you in that area, there's hope. And they're gonna do a great job, like everyone else in federal injury centers does, at getting your claims accepted and winning the things that you guys are used to losing at. So if you're in the Portland area, keep your head up, but you got to give the Portland Federal Injury Centers a call. Yeah. The first person in your area that was ever able to get help from a trained doctor just got the help.
Yeah.
So who's next?
All right, so we have, let's see, Federal Injury Centers of Columbus, Ohio on.
Mary's husband said we got to get together soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
Sounds
have
fun.
Federal Community is on with Federal Injury Centers of
South Bend, South Bend, Indiana, go Irish.
With Indiana, and then
Federal
Injury Centers of Torrance, California, and San Diego, California.
One day, and it's going to be one of our viewers, somebody is going to agree to get a matching leprechaun tattoo with me. You won't.
No.
Go Irish.
So we have Federal Injury Centers of Portland. So our doctors will be up on here. Some of the doctors.
We had Columbus, Ohio.
Office. Yeah, I said it.
Amy's here from Columbus, and they're awesome. We just had our top 20% of our offices together brainstorming last weekend in Clearwater, Florida, on the beach. But really getting together, having all of our doctors talking to each other about what they do well, so that they can copy successes in each of their offices. And I was really happy to have our Columbus doctor there because
Dr. Brooks.
Yeah, because his statistics, I was using his statistics as an example for everyone else. And at the time, he had 86% of his claims approved and 86% of his people back at work, which is huge. And then, I don't know if you all saw this, I just posted it yesterday, but the Cleveland office, so far in Cleveland, Ohio, 100% of their claims are approved. Not a single claim not approved.
Yep.
So every decision has been positive, and 80% of their patients that are capable of working are back to work. Like, some people are retired, so I don't count those in the statistics because it would skew the numbers. But 80% of the working people are back to work there as well. It's so incredible. So, if you've ever heard me talk about the surest way to get paid is to clock in. Well, the Ohio offices are living examples of that because, combined, they're like at almost 85% of their patients are, not only they have their claims approved, but they're back to work. And I think that's just fantastic. You don't have to jump through hoops when you get to go clock in.
And we also have the Federal Injury Centers of Chicago. Jason with Dr. Arcoleo is on.
What's up, Jason?
So.
And then we got South Carolina, Greenville. Did you already say that?
No, I didn't see that yet.
And I'm really excited about them too.
Yeah.
Of all the presentations we had at that, when we had our doctors here, the South Carolina office was, no offense to everybody else, far and above the best. I was really excited about their plans for all of their patients, for all of you in South Carolina. And it reminds me of the time that like 11 people were driving from South Carolina to Clearwater, Florida, because there wasn't a single doctor that they could go to. You don't have that problem anymore. You make your way to Greenville, South Carolina, or if you're closer to Charlotte, North Carolina, go there. We can help you.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
So you'll see some of our case managers again. They'll be on here putting their office name, Federal Injury Centers of whatever, their phone number and their address. Give them a call. Tell a friend.
Did you say Dr. Cooper's on here? Is that Cooper or is that Tiffany? I can't tell, but I can see Forrest.
A lot of the time, Dr. Cooper is on.
I know he likes to do it himself.
So, but yeah, tonight. So those of you that are hopping on again, tonight we're going to talk about what is the process of getting a schedule award. And I just mentioned, please don't
I
ask.
know something about that topic.
Yeah, please don't ask. What you're going to get. Like if you're messaging us asking, hey, what am I going to get for my knee? We don't know. It's a process, and Chris will tell you, but we don't know the calculations just sitting here. It is a very, what is the word?
There's a lot that goes to it.
Yeah.
Lisa Weimer said, thank you. Columbus, Ohio got her case approved.
Sweet, congrats.
That's what I'm talking about. What's up, Tiffany? It is Tiffany. What's up, Tiffany Elliott? BK Harvey. Man, all the usual suspects are here.
Suspects.
Oh yeah, glad to see everybody. BK says she's impressed with the number of places where we have fees with the dedication that we have and the doctors coming on board. Thank you for saying that, and we are too. It's very rewarding to see all these accepted claims. Do you all know that over the last 2 years we've already gotten over 4,000 claims approved?
Yep.
I mean, holy crap! I could actually stop talking right now, drop this mic hanging in my face, and be done. Over 4,000 claims in 2 years is it's a big number. Wait till next year.
Yeah.
And we're not even done with this year, okay? But wait till next year. It's going to get really, really out of control in a good way.
If you're wondering what I'm doing, peeps.
She's sharing. You need to be
Sharing.
doing the same thing. Victor's here. What's up, Victor? We were just talking about you and saying that you're going to come on and be interviewed. So we're really excited to have you in 2 weeks. And Victor's it's like a Pulp Fiction reference. He's our man in Orlando.
He is our man in Orlando.
He's our man in Florida.
Yeah. So I have some really fun ideas. You know, we always do, come October, November, December, we give away $100, but you know, because you guys are sharing and stuff like that. But I have some ideas that I thought about while Chris was away in Oklahoma with our BDC fam, just a bunch of guys, and getting some lessons and how to grow and how to do some awesome stuff that we have coming in the future. But I was thinking, I think I'm going to do it a little different. I'm not going to just give away $100 each month. I think what I'm going to do is probably the day after Thanksgiving, we'll give away a winner. That way you guys can splurge. But I have to tell Chris all the details of what I'm thinking. So get ready to get all those shares. I had asked, I remember in January, I was hoping everybody could help me get to 20,000 followers. I haven't got there yet. We're not even at 15. We're almost at the end of the year.
It's like epic fail. Can everyone just hit the follow button? I mean, you're here already. Just hit the follow button.
So
it's crazy because there's like 14,300 followers, but on any given month, Facebook says we have 150,000 impressions. So hey, you know, click the follow button. No problem. We're not going to chase you down, like spam call you at 2 a.m. in the morning, send you a bunch of junk emails. If you've ever gotten a junk email, you know, raise your hand. Nobody has, so don't raise your hand. Just hit the follow button.
All right, so this is what we're going to do now. Let's get into the whole process. You know, a lot of you have messaged me asking, you know, why do I have to get an FCE? Why do I have to be at MMI? And how do I get a schedule award? I got a schedule award. I didn't think it was fair for my percentage. So we're going to explain to you what you can do for all of that. So take a minute real quick. If you need to come off of the video,
hit the share button and come back.
Because if you don't know, schedule award means a bag of money.
Money, yeah. Every time we're at union conventions training this thing, I'll ask, you know, show of hands, who here's ever heard of a schedule award? And like maybe 10% of the room raises their hand, or 5% even. And I say, okay, let's do this different. Who here's ever heard of money? You know, you can get everyone raising both hands, of course. Well, that's what a schedule award is. It's money. And but before I get into schedule awards, and I wanted to also talk about FCEs. I think that is important.
So what is an FCE?
Well, I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
But I think the most important thing that you can do right now if you're watching, and I'm not just, look, seriously, you've got to share this page with your friends. We keep hearing people say, I wish I would have known about you guys when it was me. Well, somebody you know is that person today, right? So just let people know we're here doing this. I can only help the people that are here listening or watching. So you're here and I'm grateful you are, but please just tell your friends. And you may say, well, I don't know anybody that is hurt. Well, that's not true. Okay, you probably all know 3 people that are hurt. When you get honest about it, maybe it's you. I hope not. But, you know, everyone knows multiple people that have injuries. And most of the people with injuries haven't even attempted a claim because they think it's too late. Like they missed their deadline, which is 3 years. And, you know, or they're scared because it's overwhelming, but it's not. And, you know, so you can just like lead them to drink. Okay, and I'll take it from there, but share this. Just let people know. So people, we were at 50 that we can see here. It dropped down to 48, but now it's back up to 56. I think people left, shared, and came back.
Yeah.
So be like the rest of your friends. Leave, share, and come back. Okay, I'm not going to say that much on the way out.
So if you need, as you can see up here, this is all of the social media that we stream off of: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and we're on right now on all the platforms. So it's not like you don't have access to see us. Even if you don't have Facebook or any of the social media, you can go on YouTube for free, type in Wednesday night OWCP chats. Once you even type that, we pop up and just click it. Comment, you can even comment there. We can still see your comments. And same with LinkedIn and things like that. So
yeah,
click the share button, click share, follow us, like us, or whatever, or subscribe, and we'll help you out.
Yeah,
All right,
or
let's
like
get started.
type a name of your friend in the comments. That'll notify them that there's something going on. A lot of you do that. That's really great. Let me say hello to Tim Vandeman. He's our man in Virginia and Maryland.
Tim.
Tim's crushing it. Absolutely freaking
I'm glad I got
crushing
to
it.
see you, Tim.
Tim is, holy cow. He is really, really special. So good job, Tim. Tim's up there probably over the 250 mark, and he's just still pretty brand new.
Yeah.
Comparatively. So that, when I say 250, I mean accepted claims.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead. Let me just have Chris answer this question from Barbara May. Oh, first of all, welcome, Stacy. Victor has a new person watching us for the first time. Welcome. You'll love this live and every Wednesday night. So we have Barbara saying, seems my condition requires treatment every 8 months to a year. I'll never be at MMI, or do I do MMI and reopen a claim for treatment?
Okay, so I will never be at MMI. False. In fact, you may be now. You got to ask your doctor. So just because you're an MMI doesn't mean you can't get treatment for your symptoms. And maybe your doctor has some other rationale for having you come back every 8 months. I don't know. We don't have a policy like that at federal injury centers, but it doesn't mean you can't be at MMI. And after you get an impairment rating, it doesn't mean you can't get more treatment later. You have lifetime medical benefits. So you go to your doctor and say, am I at maximum medical improvement? Is this as good as I'm ever going to get? And if so, you're ready. Like, you've crossed the threshold to get your impairment rating. So a lot of people are already asking really great schedule award impairment rating questions.
So hold your questions. We're gonna have Chris just talk about FCEs, MMI, and then schedule award. So hold the questions till he's done, and then he'll say, put your questions.
And then Gini will go and read all the questions until we get to the end. So just hang in there. We won't leave you.
Laura, we're working on it. We definitely are working on it.
Yeah, we need a clinic in Michigan. We know.
All right, let's get back to FCEs.
Go Irish. Michigan. Okay. So let's talk about FCEs. That stands for Functional Capacity Evaluation. And like half a life ago, believe it or not, yours truly was an FCE tech. I had probably performed more hours of FCEs than the people that sell FCE equipment. Okay.
So what is an FCE?
Well, I'm gonna get there. That's a great question. So functional capacity evaluation is a physical exam that essentially gives the science behind your work restrictions or lack of. It tells a doctor what you can physically do for work. If you're required as a letter carrier is throughout the day to walk 8 to 10 miles a day, an FCE will, among other things, tell the doctor how long you can walk in a day. It will tell the doctor how long you can sit, how long you can stand, how much weight you can lift. Can you lift it over your head? Can you lift it out in front of you? Can you pick it up from the ground? It gives you all of this physical data that, guess what, can go directly onto a CA-17 duty status report, which is the science behind return to work, the science behind being off work, the science behind limited duty offers. So a lot of people come to me, or they call, or they email, or smoke signal, and they say, gosh, they want me to do this FCE. I think they're trying to, hose me or whatever. They're not. They're trying to figure out what you can do so that you can do it. And I love FCEs. In fact, I was just talking to one of my doctors about it, who's going to sign up for a course for a guy I know who sells FCE systems. And I said, you got to do this, because believe it or not, your patients want to go back to work.
Yep.
And if you can do FCEs, it's scientific. You're not really guessing anymore what they can do, because the test tells you what you can do. So that's what an FCE is. If you have a chance to get one, I wouldn't be skeptical. Instead, I would say, well, hey, the good news is that this is like the science behind everything.
Yeah. And
even if it's a second opinion doctor, who you all know, second opinion doctors aren't doing FCEs. That takes more than 5 minutes, and they only have 4 to spend with you for now. But when your treating doctor says, let's do an FCE, you should welcome that. And in fact, your doctor should do multiple FCEs over the course of care to continually track your progress, so they can always improve your ability to go to work, stay at work, and get paid because you're clocked in.
Yep.
So FCEs help you clock in and get paid. That's maybe the best thing about it. Anybody that's got questions about those, I'll do the best I can to answer them as when I'm finished talking about schedule awards. But that is FCEs in a nutshell.
there's one on Gloria if you want to read it. I'm still sharing, so bear with me.
Well, she's got a schedule award question, not an FCE question. So we'll get to that, Gloria.
Anything else on FCEs? Why you have to get an FCE?
And just ask them, and I'll get to it. As you're typing your questions in, I'm going to go ahead and give you the lowdown on the schedule award issue. So, like I said, most people never heard of it.
I thought you had to do MMI first.
Don't you have some stuff to share?
I'm sharing.
Keep doing it. Now I'm going to try to stay on track. My wife's got a little ADD tonight. Yes, I'll get to MMI. Okay. Back to schedule award. So most people never heard of it, which is another reason you got to share. Like imagine you have somebody that like could get money and they're not here. So let them know. They can always also replay this because we never delete it.
Right.
But a schedule award is money. So essentially what this does is there's a schedule of awards. And the schedule is broken down by body part. And then there's a number next to it, which is a number of weeks of payment. And so your doctor will do all the treatment that you need, that the doctor thinks you need, okay? And at the end of treatment, the doctor will say, okay, you are at what we call MMI, maximum medical improvement. That just means that medically you're as good as you're going to get. It doesn't mean you can't get worse later. But the doctor's saying, hey, this is as good as you, this is it. Okay, we've done everything we can. This is it. And at that point, you're at MMI. So that is like the first trigger for a schedule award, which is money. Well, once your doctor says you're at MMI, then you need what we call an impairment rating. There's lots of different impairment ratings. Most notably, there's the 5th edition guide and there's the 6th edition guide. Most doctors only know how to do the 5th, but OWCP requires the 6th. So you need a doctor who can do a 6th edition impairment rating. And when you find one that can, like Dr. Cooper can do a 6th edition impairment rating. Dr. Dorfman in Melbourne, Florida just finished the class. He's going to be able to do 6th edition impairment ratings.
Sweet.
Yeah, and others of our doctors are doing the training as well. And but right now, you're going to have to Google it. But when you find someone that can do a 6th edition rating, well, then they do the rating and it gives you an impairment percentage. So now you've got that chart with body parts and numbers of weeks, and you take that and you plug it into a formula that will also include your impairment percentage, and it will also include your pay rate. And when you have all of these, you can now calculate your own award. Again, I don't know how much money you're going to get, but let me tell you this. This is, and it's the only paperback copy I have. You got to get it in PDF. That's by design. This is volume 2 of Breaking OWCP. You can get it at www.breakingowcp.com. Now listen, a lot of you have a problem with my website. It's not your fault. It's my website's fault. We're working through it. But when you buy this book, it's a PDF download. It is not paperback. If you buy a book on my website and expect it to show up in your mail, it is not going to make it. It shows up in your phone because that's where I want you to save it. You can save it to your computer too, and then just email it to yourself and then save it from there. That's a little more complicated, but the bottom line is you need to save it to your phone because you need to put Breaking OWCP in your pocket. This will not fit in your pocket, right? But this is the second book. It's volume 2. In volume 2, page 141, I created what I call a schedule award worksheet. And this worksheet tells you how to calculate your own schedule award. So you don't have to ask me, how much money am I going to get? It's here. You have to just know the variables and plug them in. And once you know those, this page, that one, is going to be the reason you get this book. But this book is loaded with really good stuff, like helpful stuff. You know, when I wrote the first one, I wrote it in 3 days, and it was really helpful. The best part about book 1 is the chapter on rules, laws, and regulations, because your supervisors are idiots, dumb or playing dumb.
Not all.
Okay, your supervisors, not the supervisors that are here with us. Okay, those are our supervisors.
Right.
But yours are dummies, and they don't know anything about the law, and what little they know is just dangerous because they don't know it properly. And so the best part about book 1 was the rules, laws, and regulations. But in my opinion, the best part about book 2 is the chapter on schedule awards. I really, really like this chapter because I made this worksheet and it didn't exist prior to me making it. But a page before is the schedule award chart. And so you can see the number of weeks, 312 weeks for an arm, 288 weeks for a leg, 244 weeks for a hand, 205 for a foot, and so on, 75 weeks for a thumb. But, when you understand all the variables, and I make this really simple chart so that you can understand all the variables, then you can calculate your own award. But the other thing is you'll just understand the whole process better, and it won't seem so foggy. And that was the whole point of schedule awards. The schedule award chapter in this book is so that the whole thing's not so foggy. I don't want so many of you saying, I never heard of a schedule award. Well, if you never heard of it, that means you're never going to get the money, ever. And that doesn't work for me either, because I prefer you not to get hurt at all. But if you're going to get hurt, you deserve the money.
Yeah.
Period.
Definitely.
And you don't know, and number one, not enough doctors know how to do it. Maybe not enough ever will know how. But if you don't know about schedule awards, it really kind of doesn't matter. You know, that's just it. You're never going to get it because you're never going to ask for it. The supervisors aren't going to tell you about it. So let me get back on track. So that's how you get a schedule award. You know, just your doctor says you're as good as you're ever going to get, MMI, maximum medical improvement. You get a 6th edition impairment rating. That impairment percentage is plugged into the formula with the other stuff, including the chart. And you get a calculation. Then you attach that to a form CA7. And all this is in the book. You attach it to a form CA7, claim for compensation. You send that in to your claim examiner. In fact, your CA7, I believe now, is done on eComp. No, your CA7 is done on eComp. But you upload your impairment rating to that with your CA7, and that's how you get paid. It's a really great thing, and everything's electronic now. But a couple of things about it. Some people will say, well, you know, my back was hurt and I can't get a scheduled award. Why not? Well, the spine's not rateable. So is it fair? No, but if fair was part of OWCP would be way different, okay? And you wouldn't need me to teach it. So, oh my God, Kathy Kemp said, are we listening to Chris Godfrey? No, I don't work for OWCP, but that was funny, Kathy, if you meant that as a joke. I'm Chris Helms. Thank you very much.
I told her that before.
And no, that's okay. She's probably making a joke. And that's not, by the way, Godfrey, if you're watching, not a knock on you. We're just clearly two different people. So anyways, the spine's not rateable. It's not fair, but fair has nothing to do with this. The other thing is somebody would say, well, I can't get my schedule award. It keeps getting denied. And I realized, oh, well, your claim was never approved. If your claim never gets approved, you never get a schedule award. You have 0 OWCP benefits if you don't get your claim approved. Now, recall back why I think it's so important. The offices that I'm telling you about that have nearly 100% claims acceptance rates, and that we have over 4,000 approved claims in the last 2 years. That's over 4,000 people that won't have a problem getting a schedule award because their claim's not approved.
Correct.
That's over 4,000 people whose supervisors cannot threaten them, or they can, but they can't do anything about it, that they're going to get fired because you can't fire someone for having a legitimate work injury claim that's approved. You know, it's 4,000 people that are going to get all their mileage reimbursed, all the money they paid out of their pocket reimbursed. They're going to get their time paid back. They can do leave buyback if they want. And they are required to give limited duty assignments so you can go to work and clock in because your claim's approved. And nationwide, only 14% of people have approved claims.
Yep.
That means 86% of people are getting screwed over, right? Except if you're with federal injury standards, it's about 100%, right? Over time. Even the office in Columbus, that's 86% of current claims approved. Well, the other 14% just haven't been decided yet. But what do you think is going to happen considering 100% of the decisions are approvals? Considering 100% of Cleveland's decisions are approvals? Considering 100% of Tim's decisions in Virginia and Maryland are approved? And in the Tampa Bay area, approved. In Alabama, in Georgia, approved. California, approved, okay? New York, 100% approved. And I said all that with the emphasis that I did because you can't have a schedule award without an approved claim. And our patients can have schedule awards because we get claims approved. The other thing that people say, well, is it too late? I'm retired. Can I still get a schedule award? You have until you're dead to get a schedule award, so stay alive. Okay.
Get your money. Get what's owed to you.
If you are still living, you are still eligible.
Yeah. No
questions asked. You just have to have your claim approved. You got to have a diagnosis that's rateable, and you have to have a doctor that can put you at MMI and do a 6th edition impairment rating. At that point, you're home free. Now, look, you may get denied. And at that point, we may tell you you need to see a lawyer, at which point we would recommend Eric Blowers. And if Eric doesn't have time, he's got fantastic lawyers he will refer you to, and you will win. But even then, the lawyer is a backup plan. It's not the first plan. We don't want you to use a lawyer, and we love Eric Blowers, and he knows I'm going to say I don't want you to need him. And he agrees, but when you do, and we can help you with that too.
Yeah.
You know, we've told this story about someone who had a thumb problem, and the thumb.
It's still attached.
Hold on. So the thumb is eligible for 75 weeks of pay versus an arm that's 312, right? Well, this person got $30,000.
Just for the thumb.
And we have a friend who's over $800,000. Now look, results not typical, right? Your thing could be $1,200 or $200. We don't know. but they can be lucrative, and don't you want the chance? I mean, that's it. I just want you to have a chance, a fighting chance to get your award because you deserve it, because you didn't ask to get hurt. I think I've said everything about FCEs, impairment ratings, and schedule awards. Don't forget to get volume 2 of Breaking OWCP on PDF. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, when you purchase it, it's only $8.50. Okay, when you think about it, like skip Starbucks or whatever, you know. But for $8.50, you can download this book. But when you complete your purchase, you're not done. Okay, when you get the success page, or okay, that it went through, you got to go down and actually hover over the name of the book. It's a hyperlink, and click and download it. If you don't download it, you're going to be sending us a message, and I'll have to email it to you, which I will gladly do. But I'd like you to be able to just download it to your phone, save it to your phone, and put Breaking OWCP in your pocket.
All right, and so I'm going to answer some of these questions, and then we can go into MMI, and then answer any other questions for you guys.
So MMI is simple. It means maximum medical improvement. It means you're as good as you're going to get medically, and that is only a medical decision. Nobody can make that decision but your doctor, and you can't tell your doctor to decide. You are at MMI when the doctor says you are. There's not a second definition.
So what do they do when their doctor doesn't even know what MMI is?
Find another doctor, because your doctor's a dummy.
Yeah, and he doesn't mean that to be funny.
No, I mean it's very seriously,
Yeah.
because if your doctor doesn't have the know-how to go to Google and say, what is MMI in healthcare? Find somebody else. Okay, because we need doctors that are smarter than your supervisors.
If you are looking for a doctor that's outside of any of our doctors that do schedule awards, all you gotta do is message me, tell me you've reached MMI, your claim is accepted, and give me your name and phone number. And please, a lot of you have different names for Facebook, like Black Butterfly, which is totally cute.
My favorite name on here.
I need a good name, so when I do pass it on to Eric, he's not asking for Miss Black Butterfly, and she's thinking that somebody's crazy asking for her.
So I'm going to read this one question, and I know you may come over it again, but just remember I'm reading it right now from Leanne.
Leanne?
Is there a way to get a hard copy of your books? Leanne? So Leanne is, she's somebody I've known for a very long time. She also goes by Doctor, and but that's awfully nice, Dr. Griffin. She's a chiropractor, but she's got a big brain, and she's done probably more 6th edition impairment ratings than most of the doctors in the country combined. She's very smart at this, but she wanted to know how to get a hard copy of my books. And look, a lot of people want hard copies of the books, and I may very well do just a very limited run, a print.
We may do that, and that's something we may do, like a day after Thanksgiving sale, depending on how many of you want the certain volumes. So we just do it real, like just a short 1-day thing. If you want, volume whatever, we may have X amount, and then that'll be it.
But the reason I do that it's one reason only, because I want these books saved to people's phones.
Yes.
So that when the supervisor, who's a dummy or playing dumb, or both, when they tell them something totally wrong, like, I don't have to give you a CA16, it's been 8 days. Well, I reported my injury within 8 minutes, Well, I want them to have the rules, and they're in the books, and the books can be saved to the phone, and the phones are always in the pockets, right? So that's why I do that, but we'll talk about it.
All right,
Dr. Dorfman's on. What's up? So David Dorfman from Melbourne and Titusville, Florida. Dave Dorfman has become one of my nearest, dearest, closest, most loved friends in the world. And by God, he's also getting claims accepted. Go check him out. If you want to be close to Chris Helms, just go get close to Dave Dorfman. He may be the nicest guy I've ever met in my life.
Okay, so those of you that are saying that you want a book, when Chris and I decide what we're going to do, I will post it on the Wednesday Night Chats page. And if you want one, you'll have to comment so we can actually see how many we have to kind of guesstimate how many we're going to actually order.
Love you, Dave.
So we will do that. Is that on?
That's it, Dave.
Oh.
All right, so start at the top and let's
All right.
read their questions.
So we got first question, Barbara May. If I'm disabled, would this apply, schedule award?
Yeah, as long as your claim was ever approved, Barbara. Remember, your OWCP claim has to be approved, and it's got to be a rateable diagnosis from the chart that you'll find in my book. Then you are eligible as long as you're alive. It doesn't matter what your status is. Just be above ground.
Melody Pine said, also, I saw an ortho surgeon. Do I need to see someone different for a schedule award?
Not necessarily. What you need is a doctor who's trained in the 6th edition of permanent impairment. You got to ask your doc, hey, do you do impairment ratings? Yes. Is it 5th edition or 6th edition? If they say 5th edition, it won't work. You'll get a 0% impairment rating leading to $0. It's got to be the 6th.
And again, if you're looking for a doctor, contact me if it's outside of our doctors that are doing schedule awards, and I will get you over to Eric, because there's a few of our doctors that are doing it and that will be doing it.
Yeah.
So you just have to message me and I'll get you either over to our doctor or to Eric. All right. And Melody also said, are the FCEs, the CA7As, the doctor fills out?
No, the CA7A is 100% filled out by you, the employee, 100%. The CA7 is required if you need a CA7 or not, or a 7A or not. And the CA7 has a second page. It's all electronic now in eComp that's filled out by your supervisor. But the doctor has nothing. They don't write on the CA7 or 7A at all.
All right. Diane James said, how would a schedule award be figured for a back injury?
It wouldn't. Now, here's the problem. Now, if your back injury causes symptoms into your arms and legs, then you may be able to get an award for your arms and legs. They'd have to do tests on that, and I'm not a doctor, so don't ask me what tests they have to do, but they have tests, okay, and they know what they're doing. But you can't get a schedule award for the back, unfortunately, unless there's problems in the arms and legs, which would suck, and I don't want you to have those problems either.
Is it the brain too? You can't get for the brain?
There's no brain on the
So no brain, everybody, and no spine. And the only way to get your spine
is if you got arms and legs
if you
problems.
have your extremities that are being affected.
Yep.
So that's the only way. Christina said, is the pay rate go back to when you were injured? I make more now, but I thought I read its rate from when you were first injured.
Great question. Your pay rate will be the pre-injury pay rate unless you've been back to work full duty for, I think, 6 months.
Victor said, remember, USPS are stupidvisors.
So, Victor, I'd like to say that is limited to USPS. But as a supervisor myself and a guy with a management degree, I feel uniquely qualified to say the vast majority of supervisors are supervisors.
This is the worst supervisor right here.
I'm the best supervisor.
Right.
Ask all the people that work with me. I don't even like to call my people employees.
No, he doesn't.
Because I love them.
You know, our team.
I love
Yeah.
the people that I work with. Absolutely love, and I will tell them to their face, and they know it.
Yeah. Here's a cool name. Champions Corner asks.
Shit. That's my name.
He said, or she said, please explain the difference between a schedule award and the pay from a medical retirement.
Two totally different things. So in the federal workforce, medical retirement happens through the Office of Personnel Management, OPM. And when you are medically retired, it's like medical disability, FERS disability, federal employee retirement system disability. You don't have to be injured at work to get federal disability retirement. You just have to become disabled from your current job while you have that current job. In my third book, I tell a story about a guy who's fishing on like spring break or something in the ocean, and a shark bites off his arm. Well, he wasn't at work. He was on vacation. He was fishing. It was recreational. But now he can't do his federal job anymore, so he qualifies for federal disability. You don't have to be on work comp to get federal disability. A schedule award is only for work comp in the federal workforce. So they're like not even 90-day. There's something else.
Mr. Tyner, it's been a minute. I haven't seen you on here.
Welcome back.
He said, can I file a CA7 for my EMA? What, do you know what EMA is? Or is it NMI?
So look, we're not playing Stump the Chump tonight. You don't have to tell me what EMA stands for. And maybe I know, maybe I don't. But as soon as you tell me.
I wonder if you meant to say MMI.
As soon as you tell me what EMA stands for, believe me though, I'm going to act like I knew all along.
Christina.
So come back to us and tell us what that means.
He said somebody's going to laugh. Christina said, what if you were going for a CA2? Should you wait to get a schedule award for all of it, or you do it individually? That's a great question.
I think it's your choice. Like, I know Dr. Cooper likes to break them down, but they can be done the other way. I would truthfully defer to Eric Blowers on that one. Eric and Dr. Cooper were in the room together when that was mentioned, and Eric didn't argue it. So I think you can probably get away with doing them separately.
I remember when Eric was on here, he said if it's a knee and it's a shoulder, it's completely different. It's a hip, so it's like you're getting 3 schedule awards.
Yeah.
Susan Owen says SSDI and doctor advise to wait till full retirement age 67 before filing a schedule award to keep me from losing SSDI. Is this correct, or can I file at 62 when my doctor switches to retirement?
So one thing the government's really bad about is at the end of a year, giving you a demand letter saying you were double paid because you're getting money from different places in the federal government. I'm not an SSDI, which is Social Security Disability. I'm not an expert in Social Security. It's definitely outside of the realm of OWCP. You could ask Eric Blowers for that, and I think Gini can probably post his office number or something.
Who?
Eric.
Oh no, you just have to message me.
Okay, so send Gini personally a message, or send Wednesday Night Chats a message on Facebook, and she'll hook you up with them.
Yeah.
Let me just say this. She's right. If you call Eric's office directly, you will be unhappy with me for telling you to do it, but she can give you like a direct line straight to him.
And the reason for me to do that is I get your number. I ask you guys a bunch of questions when you're asking me about third-party car accidents, schedule awards, OPM. I'm able to answer your questions because he's kind of trained me on what to say before, because a lot of the
Eric
times,
trained you on what to say? You've been sitting here with me since 2016, and I still got to answer these questions. You know, I could take a night off.
Oh, okay. Anyways, so you message me again with your first and last name, your real one, what type of injury or schedule award, or and whatever it is you're looking for, schedule award, OPM, and third-party accidents. Message me. I ask you a bunch of questions, and then I get your number and send it over to Eric. And within 24 to 48 hours, they return your call. So be patient.
Hey, everyone, hang in there. Look, we're going to get to all these questions, so don't go away. We're not skipping you. Just keep them coming.
Yeah. Dawn, aren't spine cervical injuries partially accepted for a schedule award if it affects other body parts that is approved, such as nerve damage?
100% correct.
Yes. Mary, done my surgery May 2023, rotator cuff, right shoulder, ongoing PT, but experience a swollen joint from the right, now affecting my neck and arms, fingers are swollen. Need these all to be added to my case. Forest Park doctors are helping me, thank you. In pain, bad pain. I'm worried and stressed by my blood pressure is always up again due to the pain. Am I waiting for everything right now? Waiting is better than not to wait.
That's a whole lot to digest. First of all, I don't wait well.
He
So
doesn't.
to tell you to wait would be hypocritical from me. I don't really do that. It's painful to me. But you did mention some things that make me want to talk about a couple of different ways to get body parts approved. You're also not going to get a schedule award on an unapproved condition, even if you're, like, let's say you have a back, right, and it's approved, and you have a knee and it's not approved. Well, the knee is rateable, right? Like 288 on a leg, I forget the number of weeks. But if your knee's not approved, even though you've got an accepted back, you're never getting a schedule award. So the couple of ways to do that is a consequential injury. A consequential injury would be like if you're limping because of one leg and then the other leg starts to hurt. They say, well, if my other leg wasn't ever hurt, the second leg wouldn't be hurt. So that's consequential. Another way to do it is called a diagnosis expansion. And that's like, okay, I've got this back and the back was approved, but the knee was never approved. Well, let's get it added. Adding a diagnosis to an approved claim is called an expansion. Those things have to happen to be able to get them rateable, treatable, to get benefits on them, anything whatsoever.
Champion's Corner, I don't know if you heard the answer, but he also asked, please explain the difference between schedule award and pay for medical retirement. So I don't know if you heard it.
Yeah, but bottom line is medical retirement doesn't have to be a work comp injury. It can be anything that causes disability while you're a federal employee. And schedule award can only be from a work injury.
Christina said, I go see the South Bend on Friday, praise the Lord. And Eric Blowers, I definitely need to call. So just message me your info and what you need to talk to him about, and I'll let you know. We also have another attorney we work with, Deborah Hauser. So there are certain things that
Freaking pit bull.
that go to Eric and certain things that go to Deborah. So instead of you guys just calling and then them telling you, no, we don't handle that, this is why I weed out what needs to be going to what attorney.
And by the way, if you go to the South Bend office, not only should you thank God, you should thank Touchdown Jesus.
Oh boy.
I do it every Saturday. I've done it the last 2 Saturdays.
Christina also said, the books are well worth it, have helped me a great deal.
Thank
Awesome.
you for saying that. I really appreciate that. You know, I'm proud that I wrote these books, but when I first started writing the first book, it's because we were on COVID lockdown. And I was listening to one of my favorite marketing business guys, Gary Vee, and he was interviewing somebody, or he was telling a story about an interview. And in the interview, he said to the guy, "You mean you don't even have a book?" I kid you not. I swear to Touchdown Jesus, I hit pause and started typing.
Yeah, he did.
In that moment. And 28 hours later, over a 3-day period, I had my book at the printer.
Yep.
And you don't know anybody else that wrote a book in 3 days. You never will. It'll never happen again unless the book sucks, and mine doesn't. But the other books came next, and I'm really proud of them, especially this last one, the 25 Things You Can Do to Win an OWCP. I had a Bureau of Prison guy who came to me, and he's an OWCP dude as well, which, I like-minded people. And AFGE's got some fantastic OWCP people. But it's just, and they're not threatened by me, which is really nice, just like APW, not threatened by me. Why would you be? I just want to help you. But this guy comes to me and he goes, "Chris, I just read your book." And that's how fast the book is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember.
He said, "This thing's like the Bible of Bible for OWCP." And, I will never call one of my books anything with the name Bible in it because I don't want Touchdown Jesus to hit me with lightning. But it was a really nice thing. So everyone should get the 25 Things You Can Do to Win an OWCP, especially if you're in an area like a rural area where there's no doctors. That book was written for you. It was written for somebody who has no hope. Yeah. Because there's hope.
Erica said, "I just got my claim approved yesterday thanks to Darian in the Jacksonville office. He is the best."
Yeah. Our Jacksonville office is an up-and-coming office. They're newer. They've got 3 locations, and Jacksonville, Florida is the... You may not know this. Jacksonville, Florida is the largest city by square mile in the country. And before we got there, there's nobody helping with OWCP in the largest city, not most populated, the largest city in the country. And so thanks to Dr. McLaren and his staff, we've got 3 offices there now. And I'm really, really happy to see that you got your claim approved there. That makes me feel great.
Okay, this is going to be a long one. Melissa Robbins got rear-ended in 2018, had rotator cuff surgery, but still had issues with my neck. Was put on permanent 25-pound restrictions, re-injured my neck in 2021, and still have problems. Doctor put me on permanent restrictions at 5 pounds. Union said I need to go through DRAC, I forgot what that meant, committee, but they know more information, nor does my supervisors. Union said as long as they are allowing me to work, there isn't anything I can do for a schedule award, so I'm SOL.
That's not true.
That's not true. Yeah, I was going to say. So that's not true. Impingement nerve isn't covered under a schedule award.
That's not necessarily true.
But I'm happy that I'm still working, hoping that I will get some kind of guidance on here as to the day they say there is no longer a job for me.
So the schedule award has nothing to do with your work status.
Yeah.
You can be full duty, limited duty, off of work, retired, disabled. You can be any of these things and you can still get a schedule award. It has nothing to do with it. An impingement, while it comes from potentially a nerve root, if that impingement from the neck causes problems down the arms, then you can potentially be eligible for a schedule award. So, and I'm not in the business of contradicting unions because I appreciate and love them, but those were just not right. That's it.
S.E. Hall said, DOL sent me documentation to do a second opinion with their choosing. How does that work?
So interesting question, especially today. I spent my day learning everything there is to know about the second opinion business and about the referee doctor business. And yes, as I said that, I was thinking of Forrest Gump. I know everything there is to know about the shrimp business. I love all of it. But I thought about that all day long. I was like, hey, today I know everything there is to know about the second opinion business, which isn't true because there's a couple more pieces. But I can tell you this, when your claims examiner sends you to a second opinion doctor, you must go, period. If you don't go, they will cut your benefits off until you decide to go. And by cutting your benefits off, I mean everything, including your pay.
Yeah,
so if you're told to go, you must go. And if you say, well, gosh, it's 200 miles away. Well, trust me, they already checked 25, 50, 150, and 100 and 200. They checked everything, okay? So that's what there was. But they'll also cover your travel. So talk to your claims examiner. But you do have to go. I recommend, and you, by the way, can take your treating doctor with you. It's the only person that you can take unless you need like an interpreter or you know, something like that. They frequently use hearing interpreters for people who are deaf. You can take those people. If you disrupt the visit, if your guest disrupts the visit, they will stop the visit and your benefits will be stopped until you're rescheduled and you have a visit that's not disrupted. They really got you on this one, okay? So when you get sent to a second opinion doctor, you just gotta go.
I know you guys are asking about the books. Okay, hardcover books, again, we don't have any.
They're all paperback, if I have them at all, but they're only PDF.
Whatever, paperback, hardcover. We are going to see, I'm gonna have Chris do a poll to see how many of you guys want hardcovers and we'll go from there. But I'm thinking, we're gonna do a day after Thanksgiving sale and get them out, you know, that weekend, have like a 24-hour or a, you know, weekend sale on these books. But we're only gonna have a limited amount.
If there's a lot of demand, I can print some.
Yeah.
Understand something, okay? I don't charge very much for these books. I essentially charge enough so that my web guy can keep the website running. You know, when I do print books, it always comes out of my pocket, and that's not cheap. And so if I know that there's a lot of demand, I'd be happy to do it. But in the beginning, like when I wrote the first book, I was just getting crushed with people that wanted books. I mean, I was the author, the printer, and the fulfiller and the shipper of every deal. You know, it takes a lot of time and it's expensive. So if I know that there's a lot of interest in this and people really want it, then I'd be really happy to do it. I don't try to make money off of the books. I just don't want to lose money on them, obviously. But I still want the PDF in your pocket because that's where you have the most power. But I'm not stupid. I mean, if you guys want it, I want you to have it too.
Yeah, well, I'll be playing with that by October time so we could have it ready for November for the day after Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving Day sale. But this is the website you need to go to. And a lot of you have been saying that you are downloading it and you still haven't received it. After this live, if not today,
send us a message.
Definitely tomorrow, I am going to record Chris buying this book and showing you how to purchase the PDF.
Yeah, I'm going to buy my own book just so I can show you how to do it.
Yeah,
because it is a little confusing. My web guy, Andy, who is the best in the world at what he does, he's working on it. He's just got a platform that I think is flawed. And that's a thing that we're going to try to solve. But I'll show you all how to do it.
Yeah, so be patient. Again, if not tonight, for sure tomorrow, I will get a video of Chris buying the book step by step, and then I will post it on chat. So that way you guys understand how to purchase your PDF.
And be honest with yourself. Lots of you want videos of Chris. I mean, seeing me sit on a chair with a microphone in front of my face, that's got to be exhilarating.
Yeah, and I know you guys
sarcasm.
Want volume 4. Where you have it? Can you show it?
It's not on there.
Okay. I know you guys want volume 4. It's PDF, okay? The only way, and I know this sounds bad, we take it to the conventions.
Yeah, so I do have some paperback copies, but when I go to conventions, I like for as many people as humanly possible to show up, and so I give everybody there a free copy. So that's what I've got, but I can print some more if there's enough demand.
Yeah, so when we go in 2 weeks to the APW in Ocala with Victor and his group and AJ, anybody that is there will get a book. And we do this for conventions for different reasons, but that's the only time we will give out a book. And we're running low already, so.
Let me read a question you're not going to see. It's a YouTube question. Kimberly says she had a second opinion. How do I get a copy of the doctor's report? It'll be in your case file on eComp. So go to eComp and check it out. The doctors have, speaking of second opinions, they have 30 days to submit their reports. It doesn't mean they won't get it done earlier, but they have up to 30 days. So check your eComp file, your case file, and see if it's there. If not, contact your claims examiner.
All right, Barbara May said, my doctor simply didn't know what to do about my ongoing treatment for life. Then you're not going to the right doctor.
You're not.
Sorry to say that.
Yeah.
But there is a process on how to get treatment, because even after you guys retire, you're still able to get all your benefits and get therapy and get PT still.
You're welcome, Kimberly.
Something isn't right.
But now another great name from YouTube, Bonefish McGee. That's what I'm talking about. When we have t-shirts available for purchase, go to breakingowcp.com and scroll down, and you can get t-shirts from there. Now the t-shirts are fulfilled by Printify. And a while back, somebody was a little upset that their book or their T-shirts weren't shipped soon enough when I think they ordered on Friday and it was Monday.
Yeah, they were trying to wear it for like a company thing at the
So
post office.
it's shipping from somewhere else, but 100% of these get delivered.
Yeah.
They never not get delivered ever, so you'll be okay.
It's
But
just
you
like
get
a third party.
Yeah, third party. I don't house these. I mean, I don't have a storage building in my house, but Printify does. So it's breakingowcp.com.
Yeah, and anybody is welcome to buy it. Our staff, all of you, anybody.
And these Federal Injury Center shirts also are not marked up at all. I make exactly nothing off of them.
Yeah, probably
If you want a Federal Injury Center, no. If you want a Federal Injury Center shirt, you can have it.
Yeah.
Have as many as you want, pass them around. But it's just cost. I'm not profiting off of those at all.
And I know you guys see like a lot of the ones that I wear and you want them.
That's because she's like super silly.
Because I just get cute ones, but I'm gonna have Chris add another one on there. Is hashtag file a grievance on there?
Hashtag file a grievance is there.
So there you go.
There's a Stupid Visor coffee mug too.
Yeah, we have some fun stuff on there, and we'll add more stuff if you guys have any ideas on things you guys want. We'll put it on there.
Yeah, I mean it's nothing for me to add stuff.
All right, Stacy O'Hara said, I need to start the process as I have carpal tunnel. Do I go to my own hand doctor first and then file workers' comp?
Well, it depends on where you're located. Any opportunity you have to go straight to a Federal Injury Center's office, that's what you should do. Denied claims suck. Okay, they're hassles. They just waste time. They waste money, and they keep you from getting paid. If you think you have carpal tunnel syndrome, then you file a CA2 on ecomp.dol.gov. And that's how you start the process, by letting them know, because there's deadlines. Like you have 3 years from the date you realize it was work related to report that injury. So waiting until tomorrow doesn't make sense. You could just do it tonight online and then go to the doctor like as soon as humanly possible and take a copy of the CA2 with you so they can see what happened.
And then also, if you go to, and I'm not saying just Federal Injury Centers, when you go to an injury clinic, let them get your case approved so you don't have to pay your specialist your copays. So that's always a plus. So just letting you know. In our offices, they won't ask for your insurance and they will not ask you for cash or anything.
Never. And they'll never demand it. They'll never ask for it. You are not allowed to pay us.
Yeah.
Period. All right, we have a ton of questions coming in. Let's keep them moving.
Melody said, I had to have my CA7A shown work I do filled out by a doctor. What can I do? This was required.
It's not. I mean, I don't doubt that somebody thought it was and told you to, but there's no place. Look at the CA7A. Tell me where the doctor fills that out. There's nothing on there for the doctor to fill out. It's all about your time and how you're clocked in, not clocked in, where you were. There's nothing for the doctor to fill out there.
Right. Mary Hale said, is there a difference between OPM medical retirement and medical retirement through USPS?
No, USPS doesn't operate medical retirement. It's all operated through OPM, which is an agency of the federal government, Office of Personnel Management.
Melody, there is not a doctor that does a 6th edition in Massachusetts, so just reach out to me. Christina, awesome, thank you. Eric is my next call after this Friday's appointment. You guys are so awesome.
You are.
You are.
Thank you for saying that.
Champions Corner, thanks. You two
Love
are
that name.
awesome.
You are. Love that name.
I love the name, yeah.
I'm dying to know what your real name is because if your parents named you Champions, they were smart.
Teresa Clark said, do we pay taxes out of our schedule award?
Out of your schedule award, is it taxed? Shit. I don't think so. But hey, if I'm wrong, I'm not that far wrong. I don't think so. It's a 50-50 chance that I'm right. I'm going to err on the side of I'm right.
I'm always right, so there's no 50-50 chance.
God help me.
Tiffany, did you answer Tiffany's question? Can you file more than one schedule award at a time asking for a patient?
You can file more than one schedule award at a time, especially like what if it's 2 different cases? What if you got a shoulder claim?
That's what I was saying earlier, yeah.
From like you had your arm in a mailbox and somebody rented you, and you have a knee claim because for 20 years you walked 10 miles a day. That's 2 different claims. You could get a schedule award on both at the same time. They're 2 different cases.
Kitty, I called and asked for help on doing my schedule award for 2 incidents and they never returned my call. I gave them all my info. So message me and let me know who you called and then I can help you from there.
Because we are the, quote, they that solves that problem.
Who's they?
They.
I'm the they.
They never called back, but we're the they that fixes it.
I fix all the theys.
She's a fixer.
Essie Hall, I do have a lumbar injury that has radiculopathy that shows up in tests showing your nerves in your leg shows you have pain, which is which is an approved schedule award.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, okay. You got to get that diagnosis approved as a diagnosis expansion. But yeah, that's rateable as an impairment rating, and you can get a schedule award on it.
Okay, I know you guys are, okay. A lot of you have sent me your schedule award issues, so let me tell you what's going on. Eric is down. He will be back in the office tomorrow from his text that he sent me at 6 o'clock tonight.
Down with an illness.
He's a little sick.
He's probably going to live.
Yeah, we're hoping he lives. So he will be returning all of your calls that I said, I'm going to pass your number on to Eric. So please be patient.
She's like, dude, answer the phone, return calls. It's coming.
Christina said, is that a CA2 or CA2A for consequential? You explained my issue 100%. Right knee, traumatic injury, now left knee is almost worse.
Look, according to Eric, they're trying to make consequentials. There's like a new form, but right now you don't need to fill out a CA2 or 1 or anything with that. Your doctor has to write a consequential narrative report or consequential injury report explaining how, as a result of the accepted work condition, there's this new condition. For more information, give us a Facebook message. That's actually like super complicated. That's why. Like for me to sit and describe to you how your doctor should write a consequential injury narrative, just understand that we have like 30 to 90 days of training just for this for one doctor. It's hard for me to give it to you in like 9 seconds.
Chemi Pelter said, this is all very new to me, even though I'm a 35-year-old employee. That's a long time to work at a post office or wherever you're working.
Good job living through it.
Yeah. Broke my wrist on a previous reported door. Local injury comp has treated me horribly. Told me to Google to find a doctor to set my wrist. So
well, at least they didn't tell you that you had to go to some doctor that can't set your wrist. At least they got that right.
Right there. There's the website, federalinjurycenters.com. You click the red button that was over to the other side of there. Crispa has locations, and it has all the information you choose if you want to, what location you want to go to, give them a call. And a lot of you have been doing this week. You're hearing what the case managers are saying, and then you are contacting me and asking me if it's correct. Let me tell you something. The case managers honestly know more than me because that is not my department. I know a lot, but when you tell me this is what the case manager says, it is actually right.
Let me explain this. So we have an entire organizational structure at Federal Injury Centers. It's not just a mom and pop shop, okay?
Right.
We've got 51 offices. We have, including the two of us, 12 employees, which is actually really lean and awesome. But Gini's job is not to be an expert in OWCP. It's not that she doesn't know stuff. I mean, gosh, she knows enough to be dangerous, but that's not her position.
Did you say dangerous?
Yeah.
Oh.
Her position is to get you to know that there's expert help. That's her role. And if you don't have that, like I tell everybody this, I was just with these doctors this weekend. There was this Austrian guy named Peter Drucker. And Peter Drucker is known as the father of modern management. I mean, he basically wrote the management books that we use today in our management schools. And Peter Drucker, who's no longer living, but I got to hear him live at an event, and he had he's Austrian, right? So he had a translator, and so you could hear him, but you had to listen to the English translator. It wasn't nearly as good. I wish I knew Austrian, seriously, because he's like, for management, a god, okay? And Drucker said, without marketing, you have nothing. Nobody gets help without marketing. No business survives without it. Nobody exists without it. There's another guy who says, in an influence book, he says, marketing and salespeople, they make the world go around, not love, not money, because they're the ones that make it possible for everyone else to stand around the water cooler and gossip. Well, Gini's the one that makes it possible for all of you to know that all of us are here to help you. And I think that's important that you understand that, because without her, you wouldn't be talking to me right now. That's for damn sure.
This one's funny.
Moving
That was very sweet. Thank you. Victor said, Chris Helm's books are easy to read. I believe Chris is smarter than a 5th grader student.
Just barely, Victor, but I made sure I wrote those in 4th grade language because it's complicated. I don't like to use big words in an already complicated topic. It's not fair. It's just not fair. So I like to make it to where everyone can understand it. That's the whole point. And so that the supervisor can understand it. Do you know what it takes? Do you know what I've got to do to write a book that a supervisor can understand? That's not even fair. I'm sorry. Nobody should be put through what I had to go through to get books that a supervisor can comprehend. That's just not fair. And then yet, only like 3 of them ever read the book. And they're the smart ones.
Bama Edwards said EMA,
Bama.
says EMA is for mileage for delivery route with POV or parcel express delivery, etc. using a POV.
You can't be using all these complicated acronyms to
No,
people
but-
like me.
Remember what Mr.
I know,
Turner said?
I know.
So now
It
you
wasn't
answer.
her. No, I know. I still don't know.
Oh, he doesn't know that quick answer.
I still don't know the answer, but we stumped the chump tonight. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that.
Victor said, Sarojini Helms, it is called DRAC committee.
Yeah, I remember that DRAC.
Yeah.
DRAC. I still don't know what DRAC means, but it doesn't really matter. It's not my industry.
SC Hall said, I always get travel pay. It's in Schaumburg and I'm 57 miles away. I am going.
Schaumburg is in Massachusetts. No, that's in Illinois. Excuse me.
Is that one of our offices?
Schaumburg. Well, Schaumburg is like close to a guy we know and north of Dr. Arboleo.
Oh.
A guy we used to know. It's close to that.
Diane James said, are second opinion requirements common?
Oh yeah, they happen all the time. There's a number of reasons that a second opinion may be ordered. A second opinion may be ordered because you're not back to work in time. There may be a question as to your should your condition be approved. It could be that there's a expansion or a consequential injury that's been added. There's a number of things that a second opinion doctor could be used for. They can be requested by a claims examiner, a nurse case manager, or believe it or not, they can be requested by your agency. Though rare, it can be done. But the good news is for you that the claims examiner friend that we made about a month or 6 weeks ago said that he, especially with postal supervisors, puts almost zero weight in what they say and think because he didn't say these words, but I'll just say it because they're dummies. And so he knows that they just say things that are just crap most of the time.
I don't know why the live ended.
Yeah, I would just forget that. Okay.
But don't say that.
Okay, I won't say it. I didn't say forget that. Welcome back, folks.
Okay. Patty Bennett said, once you have your MMI done, how long do you have to file your schedule award?
You have till the end of life. Literally, if you're dead, you can no longer do it. And I'm not making a joke. That is actually the regulation.
Brenda said, when will you have a session on COP? We actually did it about 2 months ago, but we could do it again because we're coming down to the end of the year.
Put it in the queue. But COP is continuation of pay. As long as you report your CA1 claim within 30 days, you're eligible, and it gives you up to 45 days of time off. As long as your claim is not ultimately denied, you never have to pay it back. But I've never had anybody ever since 2007, including the last 4,000 approved claims, that had to pay it back. So don't be scared. The worst thing that happens is they'll take your sick and annual leave. They're going to take it anyways if you elect that instead of COP.
Michael said, hello, I have a torn rotator cuff and a bicep tear, which is due from a fall made my arthritis asymptomatic. Can I add arthritis to my approved claim? Thank you.
Yeah, I love the word can. Yes, you can. Will they approve it? Usually, I mean, if we do it, they're probably going to approve it. But you can do it. You will not get in trouble for attempting it. If anything at work caused anything that you already had going on to be worse in any way, it should be covered. So yeah, you can, 100%.
Ms. Hall said, my claims examiner informed me that DOL is not a retirement place for injured employees.
That's true.
The post office said they didn't have work per my restrictions. Peak Performance has been great with responding to all of their requests. Thank you for all you do. I refer all my coworkers to chime in to you guys.
Thank you so much. And we really appreciate the opportunity to help so many people. So, and just like her, yeah, all of you have a responsibility to tell somebody else that we're here doing this. It's so important. It is so important that we're able to get to people, get the message out and help.
Christina said, the second opinion that my HR requested and DOL sent me to was awful. And he said, honest to God, falsely charted things, wouldn't let me speak, examined my knee through my jeans, and wouldn't let me change. Is there anything I can do to report this other than I called DOL immediately and I wrote a letter, uploaded it to eComp? Yeah, document it fully, everything that happened from start to finish. In fact, I just heard one of our top docs saying that he recommends that his patients call the claim examiner and leave a message and saying, I'm walking into the second opinion visit now, and then call again and say, I'm walking out of the second visit now, because it's probably like 5 minutes, you know? And so you want to document like time in, time out,
and you want to document what happened. The doctor didn't touch me. There's a report of one doctor that rubbed his hand over with like 2 inches in between him and the skin, and said, "No, you don't have peripheral. You don't have radiculopathy." What? You didn't touch me. What does that even mean? So document this stuff. The doctor spent 6.5 minutes with me, didn't touch me, barely looked up at me. I handed him documents to make sure he would see it. He didn't read it. You just got to document this stuff. The second opinion thing is going to change one day, but it's not changing today. But the way you fight back is you just tell the truth.
Yep. Brenda said, I have an approved CA1. Am I eligible for holiday pay?
No. When you're not at work because you're out of work, hell, I may be wrong. Victor, can you get holiday pay if you're out on LWAP?
Well, isn't it depending on craft?
No, not usually.
While Victor gets that answer, go on to the
We're
next
not
one.
playing Stump the Chump, people.
Yeah.
Okay, ask me questions. Only questions I definitely know the answer to, and you are required to know which questions I know the answers to.
Stacy, thank you for the advice. Where do I get the starting form? And is there one of your doctors I can start with in Orlando? Well, if you have to file it on ecomp.dol.gov.
And the starting forms are either Form CA1 for an injury that happened in a single work shift, like a sprained ankle or a twisted knee or something like that, or a CA2, which is something that happened over a period of time, like carpal tunnel syndrome, tendonitis. It just develops over time. And you fill out both of these forms on ecomp.dol.gov.
And if it is a CA1, please don't forget to get a CA16 that pays your bills for 60 days and get a CA17 from your supervisor. The supervisor has to fill out side A so you can give it to your doctor. So that is only on a CA1. So if you need more info, you can message me. I'll help you. Linda, we don't have any 6th edition doctors in Alabama. Just go ahead and message me. And
No, we do in Phoenix City.
Oh, in Phoenix City, yes, Dr. Cooper.
And if you're with Dr. Harper, let him know you need a 6th edition. Him and Dr. Cooper are friends.
Yeah. Let's see. Victor says, can't wait for you guys to reopen the Orlando office. It's almost there.
It's coming. Let me tell you something. So Dr. Dorfman's been here tonight. Dr. Dorfman and Dr. Lee and Dr. Kammerer, not to be mistaken with the other doctor who sounds like that. Our Dr. K, Dr. Lee, and Dr. Dorfman are going to be partnering up to bring you a very beautiful place in Orlando. They are working with a realtor now looking for office space. They've already agreed to do the deal, and they think that they're going to be ready to go in October.
Yeah, so we'll see.
That's fast, man.
Sandra Boyer said DRAC is Reasonable Accommodation Committee.
Oh, RAC, Reasonable Accommodation Committee. Yeah, so anytime that there's a limited duty offer, they got to make every effort. I imagine that DRAC probably assists in that.
Yes, Melody, those are the only 2 doctors we have in Massachusetts.
And I don't think they do 6th edition ratings yet, although, you should push them to do it.
Like I said, just message me.
And we'll help you find somebody.
Yeah.
Even if it's not with Federal Injury Centers, that's not our point.
Yeah.
We just want you to get the help you need. Even if it's not with us, we'll help you.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people that go to Eric, he's not going to tell you who the doctor is, but he will help you get your packet ready. He does the whole thing for you. And if I were you, I would definitely use him because you're going to get some nice bags of money.
So you're not going to see this when it's on YouTube. Kimberly said, do you have this chapter on second opinions? No. If not, can you add it to your next book? Well, now we're assuming I'm going to write a 5th book.
We could talk about it.
I probably am going to write a 5th book. I'm thinking about writing an entire book about second opinions because there's so much there.
Yeah, maybe next year.
Like today, I was just summarizing all the rules in the procedure manual and the Code of Federal Regulations and putting them into English so I could read them good. So if I have to do that and I'm used to looking at this stuff, I imagine how hard it is for other people that aren't. And I'm thinking about writing a little handbook on it. So yeah, is the answer.
So that's all the questions so far.
Oh, there's so many more that I see.
Go ahead.
Maybe they're coming from a different page. Let me scroll up on this one.
It's all. Yeah, see, that's the last one from Christina. I apologize in advance for the message I'm going to be sending you. It may be a bit too long. All right, Kisty said, do you have 6th edition doctor in Illinois or St. Louis? No, not yet. So you'll have to message me and I can help you get over to Eric Flowers.
Yeah.
So that's it. Whether we have a doctor or not, just contact me because I know which doctors are doing them and which ones they're not. We don't have it on our list anymore. So I'll be able to say, hey, if you're here, we have, like if I'm in New Jersey, maybe you want to fly down to Georgia, and you can fly. You definitely can fly to go get a schedule award.
Hold on. Christine said, hello, I need a doctor to write a good narrative to approve my surgery. I called one of the offices in California, but they only do physical therapy. Our offices in California only do accepted claims. They happen to do physical therapy. And if you want surgery, you need your claim accepted with a diagnosis that is surgical. So call that office back, okay? Because the offices in California are prolific at doing what I just said.
And message me and let me know what office that is.
If you go directly to a surgeon, they're going to ask for your health insurance, your co-pays, and your deductibles. If you go to one of my offices first and get your claim approved, you'll be able to use OWCP and the government will pay for it.
Yeah.
That's like the key to the whole thing.
Christina said, and I will say this, I have felt defeated, wanted to give up. You both gave me the courage to keep fighting. Aw, how sweet.
Never ever give up. That's one of the 25 things. Never give up. Never ever give up. If you don't, I won't, and I guarantee that.
Melody, you said...
I risk my entire reputation on I won't give up.
Yeah, that's true. Melody, you said it was a CA-17 that you were speaking about. So CA-17, yeah, the doctor fill out side, the supervisor fill out side A because they have to put down all your work restrictions that you are currently in. When you go to the doctor.
No, they put your current work requirements. Yeah. The doctor puts the restrictions.
And then the doctor will put what you can and cannot do. So they have to follow what the CA-17 says.
Well, they're supposed to follow what the CA-17 says, but remember what Chris says and tell your supervisors they're the dime they're playing on.
Christina says, how do you know if you hit MMI and waiting for your surgery?
Your doctor says you're an MMI, but if there's a surgery that can make you better, you're not an MMI yet. Just saying, because if the surgery could make you better, then by definition, you're not yet as good as you can ever get.
Yeah, break it down. Once you do your surgery, once you've gone through all your therapy and nothing is working, even the surgery didn't help you, then you're at MMI. The doctor should say you're at MMI.
She followed up that her claim's open, but work comp won't approve it. My gut feeling is your approved diagnosis is like a sprain or a strain, which is not surgical. You need a diagnosis expansion, adding the true diagnosis to your claim, and then they'll approve it.
Yeah.
You got to go in the proper order. And that's what most offices don't understand. That's why most surgeons hate OWCP, because they just want to do surgery. They don't want to deal with getting a claim accepted and a diagnosis approved. That's what we do. And then we refer you to a surgeon who can now deal with the claim that we've repaired. You need a claim repaired.
Okay, I was just checking. All right, let's see what popped up here. Okay, so far, can you read that one from Gerald Adams?
Yeah, hey, Chris and Gini. Tim's doing a great job in DMV, which is DC, Maryland, Virginia. The red is getting bigger, meaning the dots on the map, and bigger on the map. Great job. Yep, thank you so much. Look, Tim is like the glowing example of how to expand federal injury centers the way I want to. He's just got it dialed in, and he's figured out the right formula for getting people to come on board with him. And, he's up in a place of the country where there's more federal employees per capita than almost any other place in the world besides like Colorado Springs and Honolulu, right? So, yeah, great job to Tim. We're really grateful for him.
Christina says, and can we refuse another surgery?
Yes.
Because they offered it, I refused. Would my 5th knee surgery on the same knee? No thanks.
Yeah, you're not required to accept surgery. And if your doctor says you could get surgery and you say, I don't want it, then you technically can be at MMI there because you are not required to do any treatment they tell you to do. Do the treatment that makes sense, but some people are really scared of surgery or just like you and like fed up saying, no, I'm not doing a 5th one.
Yeah.
I understand. I wouldn't want to either.
Okay, how do you contact me? You could when the live is over, you can go ahead and do it on Messenger.
Two cans and a wire.
Oh my gosh, shush. You can message me on Messenger on Wednesday night OWCP chats, or if you're on my personal Facebook, Sarojini Helms, you can find me there too and message me because I get stuff on both ends. So yeah.
Diane says, okay, I'm trying to understand. I want to read this.
Oh.
Because I have things called criticisms. It's things that like I just say. In a very rural area, if I need federal injury centers help for an injury, I have to travel hours away for the surgery.
Well, we don't do surgery so that you know, number one.
Right, but
Yeah.
so if you were going to say I have to travel hours to get to you and get my claim accepted, my answer is always the pain of a denied claim is far worse than the pain of the travel. Now, on the surgery, there's a chance that we can find a surgeon closer to you. But if not, you got to decide, is this worth it? Do I want to keep with this pain or do I want to get rid of it?
Yeah.
The surgeons are a real problem. And it is something that I am actively, whoever saw my Facebook post at midnight 2 nights ago, right after I just got home, like some people see a midnight post and are like, oh, he's drunk texting. No, I just got home, okay? And I had stuff to say.
Drunk texting.
Well, who really does stuff at midnight on Facebook?
I thought you just drunk text your girlfriend or your wife.
Well, my wife doesn't know about my girlfriend.
Or a booty call or something.
I don't do booty calls. What is that? Anyways, I've got some big things, like big, okay, capital B-I-G things that I know you have problems with that I'm going to solve. And I'm going to solve it, like for sure going to solve it. And surgeons is one of the big things. Like Dr. Lee and Dr. K here, they've solved the problem in the Tampa area. They've got surgeons in every specialty that are willing to take you. But the rest of the country doesn't. So I'm going to solve that problem too. It's coming. Look in the next year. I'm going to fix that problem.
Victor said, I will see you in Ocala,
Right.
Florida at the APW seminar. Yeah, we are there, and thanks for the invite to be a part of your live Facebook Wednesday. So
Victor, tell him I'm going to need 4 hours. Now that the new book's out, I'm going to just need a 4th hour.
Yeah, Victor. So those of you that don't know, on September 20th to the 23rd, we will be in Ocala with APW.
That's Florida for those of you that don't live here.
For their fall booster. Yeah, Ocala, Florida. And we are going to be doing our chats that night on the 20th with Victor Sanchez. And he's just going to talk about,
whatever
he wants to talk about, So stay tuned for that on that week. And I don't know if you guys saw, I posted what we're doing for the entire month so you guys can figure out where we're at and what we're doing.
The reason we do those interviews, like I had Richie Ray from New York, and he allowed me to interview him, and I love to do that because it gave me an opportunity to have you see this OWCP stuff from the union's perspective. And it's a really big deal, and I'm excited to have Victor because I don't believe I've interviewed anybody from APW before, and
No.
I think it's very unique. APW is very unique in the Postal Service.
We love them.
Of all the crafts, they're the one that just say, look, no matter what, we're going to help our people. And I appreciate it in a way that makes me emotional because they've given me an opportunity to go teach. But what I really love and what makes me emotional is how much how all in they are, with helping their members. They're incredible. And I'm not just sucking up to them. Look, we're everywhere APW is at, and they've got a quality OPW.
OPW?
I just put
OPP?
OWCP and APW together. They've got a quality OWCP guy. Seriously, okay? We know them. And they still, even though, allow us to come and trust us to teach. So, they're all in, and it's going to be really great to have Victor on. And yeah, invite AJ. Are you kidding me? She's so fantastic.
Michael said schedule awards are not taxable with an exception if you are also receiving Social Security disability insurance or supplemental social income. Right again, Chris.
All right. You can take Michael to the bank. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Melody said, one other question. My claim was covered by OWCP surgery, PT, etc. I think I'm as good as it gets, but I still have pain. Always will, I think. Can chronic pain be a part of a schedule award?
Unfortunately, OWCP doesn't recognize pain as rateable, as an acceptable condition. They'll only deal with the condition causing the chronic pain.
Yeah. All right, so we're at the end. We went over. We know schedule awards are always long because you guys have a lot of questions, and we won't be doing any more schedule awards for this year, considering we're in the last quarter of the year. So we'll come back again in sometime the beginning of next year. But if you need a schedule award, Kimberly, I'm going to answer your question.
No, it's not a question, but you got to read
that. If you have any issues with schedule awards or third parties, just message me. These videos are on here. They're always labeled, so you can go back and watch them, and you can share them. Kimberly says, I'm finally having shoulder surgery in Atlanta. Couldn't have happened without the team at Forest Park. I beat my head against the wall for months trying to get it approved. Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's awesome.
Because all we do is win.
Yeah.
that's easy to say and like, oh, whatever. No, that's all we do.
So let me let
That's
you
our-
guys
that's our
know.
business.
I know a lot of you fell off, but here, next week, we are headed to the woodshed.
Oh, woodshed night.
We are taking supervisors behind the woodshed, not in it.
Yeah, like a year or so ago, she goes, yeah, we're taking supervisors in the woodshed. Look, in the woodshed is like music and a full bar
Where we
of
are.
bourbon and nice appetizers. But behind the woodshed, that's where the 2x4s are. So we take the supervisors out behind the what they call it, proverbial woodshed. We don't condone violence and don't get violent. But my words may be because supervisors piss me off in the federal workforce, and it gives me an opportunity to sort of sound off on the crap that they pull to hurt you. I could repeat these things every day and never get tired of saying them. So I'm going to put a verbal hurting on them. I'm going to put them in a verbal headlock. You physically stay out of violence with your supervisors. Don't pull that shit at work. Let me do it verbally here. I'm going to hit them with it. I'm going to hit them about the head, around the head, across the head, inside the brain, outside the brain, everything I can with the rules, laws, and regulations that they're screwing up when they're being dumb or acting dumb.
So I know I have a lot of supervisors that follow me on LinkedIn, and it's fine, but you got to do the right thing, and you should help these people. Don't be such a brat. I'm going to say it nicely.
So I make every effort not to follow or be followed by supervisors on LinkedIn. No kidding. It's okay that she does because
they follow me. So.
That's her thing. But I don't usually accept supervisors who want to follow me because I'm just not down with their game. I'm not down with anybody who wants to hurt you. Anybody that wants to hurt you even a little bit becomes my enemy too. So
there are a handful of supervisors we do know that are.
Yeah, but they're not trying to hurt you.
Yeah, they're not.
They're not trying to hurt you. They're fantastic people. And I'm not talking to them, and they know it. And when I say, supervisors are dumb or plain dumb, the ones I'm thinking of, they know I'm thinking of them, and it's not them, right? But, look, if a supervisor wants to hurt you, and I have a chance to stand in front of them, they're not going to like it that much because we're going to win. So woodshed night's going to be a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, so next Wednesday, it'll be a 2-hour woodshed night. We go over the rules.
2 hours?
Yes, the rules, laws, and regulations that supervisors must and should follo. And
I'm gonna find like a whole bunch of woodsheds and make them play off of here.
That sounds fun.
It's just like one woodshed after another.
And then the supervisor getting beaten up.
We don't beat up people. We don't condone physical violence.
You just said you're gonna have
Verbal.
2x4s and
verbal. Those are proverbial 2x4s. We're not actually gonna hit people with 2x4s.
What's the guy's name on Blacklist that he goes in when you're not a good person? He just extracts your teeth.
Or like he'll have like a llama spitting at you or something.
So
yeah, anyways,
that'll be
Don't
Chris.
do Blacklist. I am not for violence. If anybody goes out and commits violence in the supervisor, you're on your own. Okay, don't do it.
Yeah.
I
So
don't mean it that way. I'm just saying, look, we're gonna slap them around verbally, put them in a verbal headlock. The end. I got verbal 2x4s.
Yeah. Okay. So we hope we answered all your schedule award questions. Don't forget to share, follow, like, subscribe, whatever it is that you're following us on. We always have great information. We
You
love
gotta
to
tell
hear
your friends.
topics. Share, because there's a lot of newbies on here, and it's great because now you're going to learn everything. And we cycle through things. And if you have any type of topics you'd like us to discuss, or a lot of people want to hear about it, please message me or comment.
But next week will be the most fun that I'll have all year long doing chat. So get here, be here with us, and bring your friends with you. Have a watch party, and I'm serious about that. That sounds like super silly, but get 10 of your friends to come with you.
Yeah.
And turn it on and watch it together. Cast it onto your smart TV so you can all see it there. Get a 12-pack of beer and some popcorn, and definitely get some popcorn. Get a lot of popcorn. Like get that caramel popcorn that's mixed with cheese. Get that. This. You can even get those Christmas cans. They're coming out soon. Walmart may have them.
Yes.
Where you can get like the butter, the caramel, and the cheese, and they have like dividers. But then get rid of the divider because you need that stuff mixed. See,
I love it. That's what we get at the movie theaters.
I'm like the John Madden of Christmas popcorn because I'll tell you play by play. Boom. What you got to do is get rid of the divider and just mix it all up, like shake it up. Because what you want to do is grab in there and you want to get the butter, the cheese, and the caramel all at the same time. And when you take a bite of that, you follow it with like a cold beer or whatever. And I'm talking about Woodshed Night. It's possibly the most fun you'll have all year long. And, that may be an exaggeration, but you'll find out next week.
Christina said, watch party with beer.
That's
yes.
what I'm talking about. Let's have fun with this. Let's have fun with
it. For bourbon, Kevin.
Yeah. Oh, Kevin.
You would.
Kevin. Let's go.
So thank you guys all again for an hour and 30 minutes. We're glad we answered all your questions on MMI, FCEs, and schedule awards. If you caught us at the end, go back and watch the replay. It's always there. It will be on my page, Chris's page. Again, we are on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Instagram. So you have access to us on basically all the major social media platforms.
And Kevin, if you make it inside the woodshed, you're super safe.
Yeah.
Nobody's swinging 2x4s inside of there.
There's music playing.
There's music, and we're just filling up glasses full of bourbon.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we do out there.
You guys get your friends ready, get your watch parties ready, get your shares ready for next week, because it's going to be the last time for this year we are talking about supervisors, the do's and don'ts, the rules and laws they should be following, and the shalls and everything that Chris is going to talk about.
I think I'm going to read one of my supervisor chapters. I have a book. I'm probably going to start off reading this chapter, The Supervisor. So if you've got any supervisors that you'd like to learn something about actually how to do management, because they get promoted to a point of incompetence. It's called the Peter Principle. These supervisors are like, say they're letter carriers, right? And they're really great at carrying the mail, and they're able to get it done in time, and they don't get written up and stuff. And so they get promoted. Like, wow, you were such a good carrier, and now you're a supervisor. Well, now you suck because you have no idea how to be a supervisor. You knew how to carry the mail, and that's an honorable position. I'm not knocking that at all. I'm just saying, just because you can carry the mail doesn't mean you can manage the mail carriers, right? It doesn't mean you can do the supervisor jobs. And most of the time, they get promoted to a point of total incompetence, where they go from great at their job to total freaking morons. And I've got chapters in all my books just for that moron. And I think I'll read one tomorrow or next week.
Next week. Kevin said Eagle Rare inside the shed.
Christine says make more TikToks.
I like it.
Christine, I hope you're following Breaking OWCP on TikTok, because I think I finally found, my lane on TikTok and, who I am and what I'm about there. So go to Breaking OWCP and check it out.
Yeah.
I'm liking what I got going on there now. You may not like it as much, but I'm the author of it. I like it a lot.
All right, so guys,
Kevin
again,
says Eagle Rare inside the shed.
Champions Corner said most definitely, yes. Most definitely tell your friends. Okay, again, next Wednesday, the 18th, if you saw my little calendar I posted, I'll repost it again. Woodshed night, the do's and don'ts supervisors do and don't follow.
Verbal 2x4s.
We have APWU convention coming up from the 20th to 22nd. If those of you that are there will get volume 4.
If you're in Florida, come see us.
And again, Montgomery, our Sip and Socialize with Chris and Gini, hosted
And
by
Dr.
Dr. Harper, will be going on at the 28th.
So Dr. Harper, I call him the flagship of Federal Interest Centers, because when we converted this thing to a franchise, which I started rewriting the entire company in Thanksgiving of 2018. On Thanksgiving Day, when everyone else was eating and watching football, I had my laptop out. I was completely redoing our company. And our company was doing fine. But we only had 7 locations in 50 states. Well, Dr. Harper was one of those 7. Yeah. Thank God, and touched on Jesus for Dr. Harper. Because, he just came to me last weekend, 2 weekends ago now. Totally put tears in my eyes. And, look, I'm man enough. I can still tell you I had tears in my eyes. And Dr. Harper said, Chris, you ever think about what life would be like if we never met each other?
Yeah, that was very touching.
And what would life be like for the 620 whatever people whose claims got accepted in Alabama if I never met them?
Right. There wouldn't be anybody.
Anyway, so we're going to be in Montgomery, Alabama, where it all started. Ground zero of the reason Federal Interest Center still exists, the reason it survived through the first year and a half, which is always the toughest year or the toughest period of time for any new company. The reason it survived is because Dr. Donovan Harper never gave up.
No,
he is a freaking gladiator.
He started in Bessemer. He opened in Montgomery. Then he just opened in Huntsville, and he's going to be opening his 4th location coming soon.
In Mobile.
Mobile, yes. So those of you that have been asking us, especially a lot of the roll carriers, Mobile is coming. So get ready.
Yep.
So we will see you guys next week. Same time, same place.
Same bat channel, same bat place.
Tell your friends.
Whatever.
Jeannie, please share the spelling of your first name. Thanks for all you do. Oh, okay. I'm going to put it on here.
Sorogini. And it's not Sorogini, although I got that wrong a few times in the beginning.
So You can always
Sarojini.
message, again, you can message me on Sarojini Helms, or please don't message Chris, everybody. Don't message him. He does not read the messages, and
It's not that I'm
his
not
fault.
interested. It's just that I'm like buried in building whatever it is you need at the time. So
Because
I have people that look at that stuff.
I'll take his phone, and
Oh,
he's
okay.
got like 17 messages, and I get so upset with him because I'm like, you didn't answer these questions, so please message
Some guys
me.
are like, you just give your wife your phone. I'm like, yeah, just freaking take it. Don't make me use it.
Yeah, so I'll go through it tonight to see if there's anything on there, but message me, Wednesday night chats, Federal Injury Centers, Breaking OWCP, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, you can message me, just do not message him, he will not answer.
Okay, you can message me. Just don't get mad if I don't respond back.
Like he won't respond,
In like
so
a month.
we look forward to seeing you guys next week. Get ready, everybody, like he said, get your popcorn, whatever you wanna drink, we're gonna take them out to the woodshed and
Use a verbal 2x4.
use a book and smack them in the head with it,
A verbal book.
yeah.
All right, everybody.
See you guys.